Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the True Life Podcast. I hope everybody is having a beautiful day. I hope the sun is shining. I hope the birds are singing. And I hope the wind is at your back. I have with me an incredible interview. I'm going to get into some very fascinating topics. So I want to welcome everybody to an extraordinary conversation with a truly transformative figure in the world of holistic healing, trauma integration, and psychedelic therapy. Today, we have the honor of speaking with Bénédicte Mannix, a visionary psilocybin retreat facilitator, a Jamaican-based holistic therapist, and an advocate for healing the deep wounds of childhood trauma. With over 30 years of experience in psychedelics, Bénédicte brings a profound understanding of the human mind, body, and soul, blending ancient wisdom with modern therapeutic approaches. Her work is not only about guiding clients through psilocybin journeys, but helping them reconnect with their deepest selves, reconfiguring harmful transgenerational patterns, and fostering profound personal growth. Trained in Rogerian, transgenerational, and systemic therapies, Benedict's approach is rooted in empathy and unconditional positive regard. She believes that true healing comes from within, through the balance of the mind and body, a philosophy deeply embedded in her practice as a sophrologist, where breathwork, relaxation, and visualization become tools for emotional release and self discovery. Her work extends far beyond traditional therapy rooms. She has been a pivotal figure at some of the world's largest festivals, creating safe, supportive environments for those navigating challenging psychedelic experience. Her expertise in risk reduction has transformed potentially harrowing moments into life-changing opportunities for growth and healing. With core values of gratitude, humility, empathy, and freedom, Benedict stands as a beacon for those seeking not just to survive, but to thrive. Currently, she's working on a book on how sophrology can help people process childhood trauma, a culmination of her life's work aimed at spreading peace, love, and self awareness to all. Benedict, thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Wow. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Like for the humility that when I hear you very. I want to give you a compliment. You're very incredible.
Thank you.
That yeah, that it's just that you talking about me. That it's how we don't really know each other and you just speaking about me and just like telling me that oh wow like this is really yeah, this is really me that you're talking about like
Right?
how do you know me that much like that that's yeah kind of incredible that you make me feel that I do much more than I think I do or what so yeah thank you for this yeah for this nice bio. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
The pleasure's all mine. I think we all do more than we think we do. I think we're all like the most critical person of ourselves. And isn't it interesting to get to see ourselves the way other people see us? Like it's beautiful to have someone see you in a way that you are. Like I wouldn't say that stuff if I haven't read that about you. I wouldn't say that stuff if I haven't talked to mutual people about you. Like it's interesting and it's beautiful to get to see ourselves in that way, right? I that's what I want. I want people that come on the podcast to get to see themselves the way I see them, the way society can see them. I think that that's a responsibility on our part to see the best in people. Is that too crazy?
Yeah, but that's yeah, that's um I've been I'm going to thanks my clients. Without them, I would not be where I am at today. Like trusting in myself, trusting
Yeah.
in the value of the therapy that I'm offering, and really the confidence that I have in myself today, thanks to all the client because they've made
Yep.
me discover who I was really definitely, and just being able to say today I'm a good therapist. Wow, this is huge. That that to be able to say something positive like this about the self that
Yeah.
that's require a lot of confidence. And this confidence, sincerely, it's due to my client, and I would like to thank them for, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so should we talk about
Maybe you could define sophrology for people. I don't think a whole lot of
yeah,
people really understand what that is, but I would love to hear your definition of it, and maybe you can kind of give us a little bit of a little lesson on it.
yeah. So and that's very, what's very sad is that everybody knows about mindfulness,
Right?
and I think and believe that sophrology is very similar to mindfulness, but much more developed.
Okay.
It's a technique, or it's a therapy more developed than mindfulness, and I will say after why. So it has been developed and created at the same time as mindfulness. I'm doing an analogy because it's very similar. So and I will speak about the difference after. So it was created by a neuro psychiatrist. He was working in Spain in a psychiatric hospital during the war and during the Civil War. And you know how like psychiatry is treating people sometimes like harshly. So they were like shocking people, like lobotomy and all the thing. Like in the 60s, we're talking about in the 60s, and uh, and so there is certain people that are humanists that have like more that want to create another approach that's saying that, oh, maybe we should do something else. So he created sophrology, and so this is a technique of guided meditation that going to create awareness of the body and mind, and to help people connect body and mind. So Casado, that's his name, Alfonso Casado, was basically working on what we call today PTSD, and that at this time was called shell shock. Shell
Mhm.
shock was the trauma, and so I should not maybe talk about my book until it's out, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it, but you know
do it.
that's something. I will say that I'm kind of a pioneer here. That you know, because sophrology is not really used for trauma, and not enough. When I for me this is like this has been made for at the beginning for people having trauma, for
Right.
people having, and that's why Casado developed it. And after he did much more with it, but for him after it was a way of living, that you know, being conscious and having consciousness. So what sophrology means is the study of consciousness in harmony.
Hmm.
Sophrology says sos, friend, logos. That's Greek,
Mhm.
sos, friend, logos, and that's meaning the study of consciousness in harmony. So that's really so, and it's a sophrology is really a technique to deal with stress. And stress is like the big, like perpetuator of all our mental and physical disease. Like, you know, the stress is the this non-capacity, this non-resilience to align body, mind, and soul. Like, you know, this is the stress that's going to disconnect us from the fear. Um, so when we are stressed, our immune system can't really be activated. So that's very important. So sophrology is going to help you to be connecting body and mind. So you know that, like, to speak about what I'm doing
Yeah.
in my life, that I'm a holistic psychedelic therapist. So for me, it's all about understanding consciousness, helping people to align body, mind, and soul. I believe that psychedelic and psilocybin, I work with psilocybin,
Right.
help you to connect with your soul. What is your soul? Your soul is your inner child. The soul is that what you have come on earth is that your real self, the real self. And that's
Right.
important because that's where you got all your gift. That's where you got all your emotion. That's your real you. Unfortunately, to survive, we create a persona that is your ego, that is your mind, that is like, the adult self that is created to help survive the soul, to be accepted in your family, to be accepted in the society. So you create this ego and this self. Psilocybin, one. Oh, I want to say something else.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait. You said that I was able to be ADHD and to go.
Of course. My whole audience is
Okay.
probably that way. So it's perfect.
Cool. Okay. I want to say something because I want to say it more and more. My
Yeah.
belief about psilocybin. So psilocybin for me, it's a pet repellent. It's
Oh,
like an animal repellent. That
okay.
is yeah, this is a very different
I love it.
mm. So and I think that's very important for two things. Psilocybin is class 1 drugs, meaning that is highly addictive and that it doesn't have any medicinal purpose. This is class 1 drug, highly addictive. I have been using as a tool psilocybin to help lots of people to stop their addiction, and it works. So it is not addictive.
Right.
So when a mammal is going to go eat a mushroom that has psilocybin for me, like nature is perfect. So what I'm going to say is not going to dismiss the spirit of nature. That's not what I'm trying. I, I want to be factual and talking about science, that I'm not a scientific person, I'm an empirical person. And it's just a belief that's mine, that is shared. I'm not the only one to have said so. That's not coming from me, but so I believe that a substance that have been developed by the mushroom to protect itself, and that's the magic and the spirit of nature still. So the mammal is going to eat it, the insect is going to eat it, and what's going to happen? So psilocybin, as a, for me, also one of my belief that like a big effect in your stomach first, you know, and so and after in your nervous system. And what it's going to do is that it's going to completely calm and relax your nervous system. Something that is very common, you're going to see that when you're taking mushroom, you're yawning, like you
Yep.
yawn, because what's happening is that your nervous system is completely relaxing. So the animal is going to be relaxed, not wanting to eat anymore, and just like I'm feeling weird, so they're not gonna want to go eat the mushroom again. It doesn't, it's not toxic, it's gentle.
Yeah.
Mushroom are not toxic. They're not going to, you need to eat. They don't even know how much,
Yeah.
and you will not be able to ingest as much to die. So
Right.
this is not a toxic. You got mushroom that are not nice and cool. They are toxic, and that's how they protect themselves.
Yep.
The magic mushroom, they nice. They very gentle mushroom.
Yep.
They just make you just relax. So how is it positive to people? It's positive to people because the state in which the absorption of this um, substance that is um, psilocybin transform in psilocin inside your body, it's going to make you completely relax and in a meditative state. Like if you had practiced meditation for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
So suddenly in 30 minutes, you become a yogi and you can access certain part of your body that you were not able to access before. Why? Because you're too much in your mind. And now we're going to talk about the default mode network and the
Yep.
dissolution of the ego. So we're going back to my body, mind, and soul. So when I offer psilocybin to people, I offer them for them to connect with their soul, to help them be conscious of their soul. So what it does, it's helping you to like multiple things. Like you say that I'm specialized in trauma. You're gonna be able to go revisit your trauma in a very nice and gentle way because you're going to experience something that could have been dramatic at the time, and now you're completely relaxed. You're going to be able to revisit it without feeling that you're going to die. So
Yep.
this is a possibility for you to integrate your trauma. You're going to relieve the trauma is something that is here and now, that have happened then and there, but that's still present. That every time you're going to have an outside stimulus, it's going to put you directly back then and there without you being conscious of it. But you're going to have a reaction of fight, flight, freeze, and to something that is not really there, or that's like small compared to what was before. So that's going to help you to first integrate trauma. That's going to help you also to reflect on different perspective in your life. That's going to help you access, like, this part of your brain that is like all your imagination, all your creation, because we are beautiful humans. The thing that's wonderful compared to humans and AI is that we are have the ability, that's our soul, we can create. We are like this, like, incredible machine that can create like
Mm.
more and more and more, like non-stop creating new things, inventing new thing, new story, new life, new. So this is beautiful. And so you accessing with psilocybin, you're accessing your soul, who I am if I'm not traumatized, who, what, and your feeling. That's going to help you to access your feeling. Your so for me, this is a wonderful tool to help people be conscious of who they are, of their soul, of their real self. And so my company is called Sophrodelic
Right.
because sophrology and psychedelic. So now we've talked about like connecting the soul, and body and mind is the sophrology. So Casado was in his hospital helping people to overcome traumatic shock, the shell shock, and the PTSD, and being conscious. So when you have a trauma, one thing, it's a somatic therapy,
Right.
basically. It's you going to, to survive, like, you're going to often disconnect from your body, because if not that,
Yeah.
maybe you will die that, so you pumping like, like all this adrenaline, all this chemical that's going to help you, like, not feel, not and disconnect. People, when they've got a trauma, they disconnect. And a lot of people that have been traumatized, they completely disconnected, they can't feel their body.
Yep.
So it's important that sophrology is going to gently help you reconnect with your body. If you want to heal, you need to be present in your body. You need to be present in your feeling. You need to feel that you're stressed. You need to feel that the pain. You need to be able to, and that going to help you to relax. And sophrology is also guided meditation. So it's in some ways very similar to psychedelics, is that we're going to like go inside your psyche to create the future. So the difference in like mindfulness and sophrology is that mindfulness work in the here and now, and mindfulness normally don't really work with intention. Mindfulness is when you're doing practicing like real mindfulness, you're gonna have to accept what is. Sophrology, and maybe people are not going to be agreeing with me, huh? But and maybe I'm wrong, but sophrology work in three-dimensionality. We working in the present, we working in the past, and we working in the future. In my book, I speak about the power. You know, you've got Eckhart Tolle that talk about the power
Yeah.
of now. I talk about the power of the future. I believe in the power of the future. My motto is like dream your life and live your dream.
Nice.
So sophrology will help you to dream your life and to help you to live your dream. You're going to so what I believe is that you need to use your past in the present to build your future, and you're going to protect your future.
Yeah. The the
And and the other thing is that
yeah.
intention.
Hmm.
So we have an intention. The intention is to reinforce the positive in people. So now you understand why I work with sophrology, to just help people to align body, mind, and soul. When they are aligned, you are healthier, happier, and you do what you want. You can heal. Yeah. Sorry, I let you.
No, it's beautiful. I can't help but think about the Trinity, like the mind, body, and soul, past, present, and future. This idea of three, this idea that they all exist at the same time, if you can find a way to be aware of all of them. And like that sounds like harmony to me. When you can begin to stop seeing this one dimension that you've been trained in your whole life. Just look here. Okay, you got a problem in the past, look there. You want to be something in the future, look there. But the truth is, like you say, can we be aware of all three at once? Can we be aware of the mind, body, and soul at once? And when you can, I think that's when you slip into these states of, cosmic ecstasy, or this understanding of something. Oh my God, I'm part of the whole. Oh my God, I am this thing. Oh my God, I'm you. You're me. Like, and you can go there for a few moments if you can just hold it. And if you practice, you can hold it longer. But what you're saying makes perfect sense to me. Like I I hope more people are able to find a method, or find a teacher, or find a way in themselves to revisit this awareness. What was it? Let me ask you this. What was it that first attracted you to sophrology? Was it like, was there something calling in you? Did you find a teacher? Was it just something that nature was talking to you about? How did you become attracted to this before you became a practitioner of it?
Wow, that's a good question. Thank you. So I was a therapist, and I was like seeing that people, that it's I've created a protocol using psilocybin and using everything to help people. But I was wanting to help myself. That
Right.
if therapists don't understand that they want to heal their family or themselves, that they need to re-question that. I went I'm specialized in childhood trauma because of my I've studied transgenerational therapy. Everything that I've studied is like tools that I was needing to heal myself. And I was seeing that the disconnection in the body, that's the first thing. I was saying that people were not able to speak. What's good about sophrology is that you don't really need to speak to be able to, some people don't want to go in the past. They don't want to, they say, oh, we're not going to talk about the past to, so so I was needing another tool to help the people that were not wanting to talk about psychology, about the past, that like in the, like you said, like how can I go revisit the past in the here and now, like,
Yeah.
like we're not going to go back there. So um and I remember, oh, like anecdotal thing, that the first time that, when you do internship, like, was working with people. First time that I was in therapy was a client of mine that had accepted to be my guinea pig. And first time that I did, like, so when you do sophrology, first you work in the present, after you can go in the future, and after the past. And first time that I did like a session in the past, she just like exploded in tear, and I was just saying like, what, I was so scary. The power of this technique, that, that, wow. And I was just thinking that, oh, I'm lucky that I'm a therapist, that I've got already the tools to deal with this person, because I was thinking about my other friends, sophrologists, that, wow, if you don't have the tools to deal with this person that is like completely having like a breakdown because we
Yeah.
want to powerfully revisit the past. That was yeah. So that was, I was meeting something. And the other thing is that I'd experienced sophrology. I was not able. People that are traumatized are not mostly able to, every time you were telling me, close your eyes and relax, you were stressing me out. That was like, you were attacking my system, that, that I can't, like, close my eyes and relax. This is not possible. That if you say relax, that, that you're attacking me. I can't protect myself anymore. So I was needing to have like something that was able for me to be able to relax. So sophrology is very much guided. It's always guided, like you're very much guided. So your mind is like completely occupied all the time, very much.
Mm,
So you got very little time to think. You do,
mm,
but you're always invited to have something. It's dynamic meditation. Dynamic meditation is much more approachable than meditation itself for people that have had trauma. So this is why I studied sophrology, because there was a tool that was important and useful for me to be able to relax. I was being able to do meditation. Then people that have trauma, they can tell you, huh? You can see that, I do like a very little exercise in just like, asking people like, close your eyes.
mhm.
Some people can't close their eyes like for like more than 1 minute, huh? And
Yeah.
that's how, like, so you can see right away that, the level of interoception, like, that hypervigilance that people are in, that, so
Yeah.
this is, and the level of stress, that, the stress. So slowly, that, you're gonna be able to accompany people with gentle little exercise, that, meditation can be very simple. You can meditate eyes open. There's very, very different way to meditate and to help you slowly to be able to listen to your body. How can you heal your body? Your body. So, oh, can we already jump on
Yeah.
holis- holistic healing? That was
Let's
what I
do
was
it.
talking about.
It's a good
I
transition.
because and biodecoding, it's a new studies, it's a new, like, it's on very woo woo for a lot of people, but it's the science that state that like mental and physical disease are linked with emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and to access your emotion, to be conscious of your emotion is in your soul, also it's in your limbic system, that you got your cortex, you got your mind, that but your emotion is in your inner child. So that's important to, and if you're not aligned, if you don't have the capacity to listen to your inner child, to listen to yourself, your body is going to express it. And the way to express the feeling that you've got inside is through mental or physical disease. So if you the often the problem with allopathy
Mm-hmm.
medicine is that they're going to treat symptoms. The very good example that's
Yeah.
very sad is addiction. And that's also when, okay, so we're gonna jump back to something.
Yeah.
I was in England studying sophrology, and the director of the school asked me that, oh, you've got knowledge for many things. We don't have any English literature in sophrology. Would you be interested in writing a book? And I say, I don't know how to write. I'm not a writer, that. And I say, okay, that, I'm very much specialized in addiction. And because, and thanks to her, she also have helped me during to do all this journey. And there is no addiction without childhood trauma, without suffering, without trauma. Addiction is the medication for pain. It's the medication
Mm.
for addiction is the symptoms of pain, of suffering, underlying
Yep.
suffering. If you treat the addiction without treating the real problem, and it's terrible that that we are in a society where addiction is punished,
Yes.
is judged so mainly when people are suffering, and that that we're just looking like it's shaming people that are addicted, and without having any compassion for. So I started to want to write my book about sophrology and addiction, and I said that doesn't make any sense. Why should I talk about, like, this is not a problem? So that's how I like studied more and more and more about like childhood trauma. So it's a long journey. I'm almost finished my book, and I realized that it was on pause. Like, this book is about me. In fact, I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know. And reading again the chapter that I wrote before, I realized that, oh wow, this person that I'm talking about, that this example, it's me. So I've grown. I've grown a lot. Like, this is a journey
Yep.
of, and I'm finishing that. I'm in the chapter of resilience, and this is what I'm writing about, like resilience and healing, resilience, and that's important. So Resilience is the capacity of going back to homeostasis, to going back to this alignment. Healing is not being fixed in this alignment, because this is not possible. We can't be happy, and this is not human. Maybe a machine can be happy every day. A human emotion, luckily, we experience like this emotion. And sometimes we've got joy, and sometimes we have sadness. And sadness is very important also. Sadness is giving us the capacity to have empathy, empathy for the selves and empathy for others. This is very important. So we can't be happy all the time. We can't be good all the time. Like, this is not true. There is the life, there is ups and downs. Resilience is the capacity to go back quicker to this alignment. So we're going to, so I've got a name. It's a very special name. I don't know that if I should say it that here and now, that I want to copyright it. That
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't know how to copyright something, but I want to. So I've created that that this is called, like, I've called it like happy verse.
Hmm.
So this capacity to be aligned is that when you are aligned, you're in happy verse. And every time that the more you're going to practice and the more you're going to heal, the more you're going to have the capacity to know and feel that you're not in happy verse anymore. My the client that have been working with me through the whole protocol, like, they know happy verse, they are in happy verse, and they have the capacity to know every time. But the pathway, what is
Right.
it, you have experienced what is it to be in happy verse. And when you're in happy verse, that you're going to create the future you want. You have the capacity to create the future you want. You have the capacity to heal. We all have the capacity to heal, only us. Nobody else is going to heal you.
Right.
We all have an inner healer, an inner guide. We all have it inside ourselves. Nobody's going to guide you. Nobody is going to heal you. You healing yourself. That's very important. We all have this capacity, this power. We are healing ourselves. Happy verse is the capacity of like being aligned, body, mind, and soul, and to capacity to heal, capacity to create our future. So when you experience, and every time you feel out of alignment,
Yeah.
and you feel. And resilience is the capacity to go back there. This is resilience. Resilience is not healing, is not healing, is not that I'm going to be healed and that. So people are sometimes surprised that, why, like, how can you not feel good? You're a therapist, you like it. Of course I'm a human being. Of course I'm
Yeah.
super hypersensitive.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like really down, depressed, terrible. I'm human. I'm hypersensitive.
Yeah.
But I go back there quicker. I don't stay there. I don't nourish this depression. Depression is a natural movement of the body, it's not a disease. Depression is normal. Depression is normal, it's not an illness. The problem is that we are not taught to go back to this alignment. Because when I help people that have like 20 years of depression, when I help them to come out of it, It's because now they've got the tools to come out of it. Depression is the the movement of the body to introspect, that you have a change in your life, you become something happening that is like throwing the alignment out, and that you have the capacity now to introspect, so you're going inside yourself. This is depression. I go inside myself. I don't want to see no one. I want to see like
Mm-hmm.
now I've got the capacity to introspect. Unfortunately, people stay there. They
Yeah.
crystallize there. Medication gonna put you there even more. Medication, like the medication for you don't want to stay there. You don't want naturally to go back to alignment, and you need to learn this. You need to. The society don't teach us this.
That's a great way to put it. When you start thinking about alignment and depression, it sounds like, in my mind, I get this picture coming through of depression being this dark valley when you veered off the path on some level. And you think that, okay, I'm just here now. I live here now. I have to live in this dark valley. I hate it. And you just start thinking about, you start looking around that path. You start naming all the things. There's a big tiger over there. The water's too deep. It's going to start snowing. But the depression is like, hey, you just went on the wrong trail. All you got to do is walk back and get back on the main trail again. And like, it's really beautiful the way you explain that, because I do think people that are hypersensitive have gone into depression so many times they've been forced to find their way back. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, this is just a wrong trailhead. And you know what? Once you start figuring that out, especially someone who's also hypersensitive, you begin to see the beauty of depression. You begin to see, hey, you know what? This trail's pretty dark, but if I'm really conscious, there's actually some really wonderful sights that are full of wonder. And I mean, I'm using the word wonderful. Like, this is full of wonder to see how cold it is here. It's really wonderful to see how dark these shadows can be. I can almost be invisible in these shadows. And instead of seeing it as this horrible negative connotation, you still see it as just the darkness. And I love the way you said you're bringing it back to alignment. I wish, and I'm hopeful, more people can learn about this road back. And I think some of the stuff you're doing is doing that. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about resilience. I know I kind of cut you off right there, but what more do you have to say about resilience?
Hmm, that okay. So, um, for resilience, I give you tools,
Yeah.
like you say that um, it's there is a path, and that's very funny that you describe this like this. This is what I say that and specifically when you're doing psychedelics,
Yeah.
psychedelics will recreate
Yep.
new neural pathway, and
Yep.
some people have never felt, because we're going to talk about anxiety also, because lots
Okay.
of my clients have anxiety, and that's the same thing. Anxiety, okay, let me define, let's like anxiety.
Okay.
We're talking about that the four emotion. We were talking about joy. We've mentioned about joy, okay, already. Joy, we need to feel and express those four emotion, and if they are not felt and expressed, that's where you're gonna have disease. The energy is stored. So the joy, it's important to feel, to be able to feel it and to express it. You see, when you're depressed, you don't have joy anymore. You can't connect with other. It's very important. Joy, it's going to be the ability of
Yeah.
connection with others. If you don't have joy, you're not going to connect. People tend to, so very important to feel joy. Some people have never felt joy. They've been
Mm.
like they born in, like, that the family is just
Yep.
like you're not allowed. It's not politically correct to be joyful. It's
Yeah.
as terrible as this, that so they experience psychedelics, and for the first time, so they've created a path, like a path to joy. They
Yeah.
know that there is a
Yep.
road. And that's what I
Yep.
say, that they wake up in the morning, and there is a highway, and the highway is like what you were describing, is the highway to hell, is the
Totally. Totally. Yes.
the highway to go back. But they have to just remember, psychedelics is not going to save you, change your life. It's going to show you a way that you're gonna have to walk. You're gonna have to walk it. You are healing yourself, not psychedelics. Psychedelics will help you show the way, help you experience the way. If you don't do the work, it's not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's very important. It's not a miraculous pill.
Yeah.
It's a magic one, not a miraculous one. Yeah, that you're still going to have
Yeah.
to work. You have to work. So, and that's the thing that, depression, that's going to give you, you're going to experience maybe a bliss, and you're going to have to choose, like going back to this highway. This is my life, the
Yep.
highway, the only thing I know. Or turning and going to the green. Like,
Yeah.
yes, there is a greener side. It's, yes, there is one. There is the greener side on the other side. Yes,
Yeah.
it exists. So, so we were talking about joy, sadness. Sadness is like important, like I said before, to have empathy for the self and for others. If you don't express your sadness, often that you have people that have problem in the chest, like
Mhm.
there's keeping all this, that um, for example, lung cancer, you know. So
Yeah.
maybe you need to see how much. So fear is important to feel and express to protect yourself. And we were talking, and that's why. Okay, we'll go back after for the fear. So anger, very important, because anger is the way to say no. It's the emotion that's going to help you to say no and to put boundaries. A lot of people also that have cancer, that they don't have the ability to say no, to express themselves, to give boundaries to others. A disease is like, you're going to express like your feelings. No, if you have strong boundaries, you're not going to shout no. You're not going to need, if you feel safe, you're not going to have to, you just like, you don't need to be having. So some people, trauma rupture boundaries. You don't have boundaries, so you can't say no. You say yes all the time. Disease is a way to say no. Your body is saying no for
Mm.
you.
Mm.
So going back to fear, and there's a big difference in between anxiety and fear. Anxiety, you have had fear, and maybe a trauma is going to be based on a fear. Like suddenly you get attacked, and there is a fear, there is something that you have to defend yourself, your life is threatened. So this is creating a trauma, and this is fear. But that's created trauma, and the trauma is going to be like, you're going to have a stimulus that's going to like re-enhance the fear, and it's going to create anxiety. Anxiety is like fear of something that's not there, that doesn't exist. Rumination, you just like
Mm.
thinking, oh, this, if that, this is like not existing. This is all the talk that we creating in our head. This is anxiety. Anxiety most of the time don't exist. Big difference in between fear and anxiety. So that's the same thing as that I got fear of things that are not there, but maybe this fear
Yeah.
is rooted in my childhood. Like I'm because like I'm not aligned with what is. my soul, my child, my inner child is not aligned with my adult self. If I'm aligned, I know that my adult self is going to protect the child. I don't have
Okay.
reason to have fear anymore, neither anxiety. I'm adult. I can protect my child. So that's all about, again, about aligning body, mind, and soul. I'm trying to think about the question that you asked me. But that was wow, 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 wow. Wow, that was. But I think that was like about like the path,
Yeah,
about past, like about past, like going back to. Oh yes, I got it. Sorry. Yeah,
not
yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
You
It's
were telling
beautiful.
me. No, no, you were telling me about resilience, and
Yeah,
I was describing what is it to not be resilient. You're not resilient when you're not having the capacity to go back to homeostasis, to this equilibrium,
right.
to this balance in your body, to this alignment, body, mind, and soul. Resilience is the capacity to go back there. That's what's for me, huh? That's so. And there is different thing that you. So that's what I'm the book that I'm writing. I've exercised. This is like a exercise book. This
Mhm.
is like, and very interesting. The other day, I was listening to someone that was working in narcissistic abuse. People
Mhm.
that, unfortunately, also people that have suffered from trauma, suffer a lot from narcissistic abuse. And narcissistic abuse, like there is a lot of post-traumatic stress was narcissistic abuse. Um, that people are not conscious that so and that was very interesting because he was describing his protocol, and I said to myself, that's crazy that his protocol is so similar to mine, to the one that I'm offering. And I'm just saying that, yeah, this is the it. And you got someone that have been talking about it. It's like Jung, so it's a
Yeah.
very old thing. It's the processes, of individuation. So Jung is talking about this individuation. So my protocol, and I've understood that it's all about individuation. It's all about this. And you, when you are aligned and conscious of it, that's when you have reached individuation, freedom. You're free. You are healed because you are free, more conscious.
Mm.
Freedom, like happiness comes from freedom. You are free from this unconscious. When you have a disease is when you're not conscious of what you feel, of what. And the problem is that allopathy is hiding the symptoms,
Mhm.
and it's not really right. So I don't want to throw away completely allopathy and medication,
Right.
but I definitely believe that that if you don't work alongside, it's difficult to really heal deep illness.
Yeah. It. I feel like we're there's a great quote from James Joyce in the book Ulysses. It says, "History is the nightmare from which I'm trying to awaken," and it makes me think that like so much of what like we're running from the very thing that would free us in our personal lives, in our business lives, and in the Western world more predominantly. But like we begin thinking about something, we begin coming up with the question that will lead us to the answer to help us, and we might automatically stop. Hey, stop thinking about that. Don't, no, 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 but put that away. We're not going to think about that. That's painful. That hurt. You might hurt someone's feelings. Like these questions that we come up with are the answers. The questions are the path to the healing, but we have to be strong enough to face those questions. We have to be strong enough to formulate those questions. And sometimes we need people like yourself and others in our lives that are willing to help us think about those questions, not give us the answers, but to sit down with us and help us formulate those questions on some level. And I can't help but think, isn't it fascinating the way in which you're describing some of these techniques is also describing the way in which neuroplasticity happens in the brain. It just reminds me back to Carl Jung of like, as above, so below. Like we are, when we talk about emotions, we're talking about rewiring our brain. When we talk about, on some level, sophrology, it sounds like we're also talking about neuroplasticity and neuroscience on some level, but we're doing it in a way with our language, which, you talked about the verse, the happy verse. I think like think about the word verse, like it's a language, it's a song, it's a note. Maybe universe is one language. Maybe when you become conscious of the
United.
universe, right? You're like right there. I don't know. It's kind of a lot right there, but it's true, right? Like our language is what defines us.
I want to, yeah,
That
I
was
want
so far
to.
out there. I'm sorry. My
No,
ADD is kicking in.
that's I love it. Like universe is aligned, like you
Yeah.
align with your, yeah, completely.
One
I
word.
want to sorry, I don't want to forget about what you were saying because it's important. And after we're gonna go back to your
Okay.
universe and everything because I love what you were saying. I love everything you're saying. So
Thank you.
no, that lots of people are scared about taking psychedelics,
Yeah.
about, and exactly for what you're describing. And I got a very good answer for them that is like very true. People are saying that I am scared to discover thing inside myself. And answer to them, you are never going to discover more than what you're suffering every day.
That's a
So,
great answer.
and that this is true, that if there is something hidden inside you, you are suffering it. So I've studied transgenerational therapy. It's coming from study that were done on schizophrenic people. I believe that, that schizophrenia is a disease that can be healed. I believe so. Schizophrenia is the expression of hidden secret in family. It's a belief also, but they've done studies and just like realizing that the crazy things that people were talking about, if you were putting it back into the family history, they were doing research, suddenly it was making sense. Just food for the thought that, that there is one member of the family that is expressing all this family secret, all this family trauma that needs to be coming out. So the pain, the trauma is there stored, and you're suffering it and you expressing it one way or another. If you can put light into it, you're going to be able to have the capacity to heal it. And what's beautiful is that, when people re-experience some of trauma, and I can share about abuse, you know, having the capacity to revisit at an
Mm-hmm.
adult age, like something that have happened in your childhood and that you can be suddenly conscious that you were not guilty.
Hmm.
It was not your fault. And you see it and you feel it, and you have the capacity at adult age to analyze that and to see that, oh wow, all my life I was carrying this burden. All my life I was carrying this guilt. And today I understand. Today I know I wasn't guilty. It wasn't my fault. I was a child. This is beautiful, and this is healing and freeing yourself. Mm.
That hits home for me.
Mm.
There's an awakening to shame on some level. Sometimes I think these feelings of guilt can calcify into shame, and then you just carry that with you, which is such a heavy burden. And you're right. Then you begin carrying the secret shame of the family with you. Hey, nothing was done. Hey, this person doesn't care. Hey, this person was never prosecuted. Hey, you know, be tough enough to handle it. Just shut your mouth. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. That sort of pathway, hypersensitivity, like that sort of pathway is a place that goes to a dark area, but there's a path back from it. And like you said, writing your book, telling our stories, and even the greatest myths out there are a way for us to have our story not only be vocalized by us, but there's nuggets that other people can find truth or wisdom in those stories and then apply those tools to their stories. It's so amazing how we're connected that way. And I can't help but think of the human mycelium. Isn't it strange that mycelium grows in a way that finds connections? And so too do our stories, our words, our traumas, our triumphs, our betrayals. These all find ways to help heal each other. And when you can see them as these tools of connection, it does take away that shame, or it takes away that heaviness that comes with some of these things.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and healing is possible. That
Yeah.
there is not such a thing, like I believe like the wonderful power of our body and mind to heal
Yeah. And
from.
harmony.
Yeah. Yeah, that's possible, that
Yeah.
and yeah, that that my work is all about helping people to regain this confidence and this in themselves, that this power.
Yeah.
And yeah, it works well. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed to. Yeah, I'm so blessed to be able to do this in my life.
It is. It's a calling on some level. It's do you feel that what you're doing, I often ask the question, do you feel that your motivation comes from being pushed or being pulled? Is there something attracting you towards a higher is there something attracting you to what you do, or is there something pushing you to do what you do?
Um, okay, so I, you know, the motivation and all the gift and everything is in the inner child, in the child. As a child, I was wanting and needing to be helped, to be more helped, to be more loved. So, and as a child and as someone hypersensitive, I always say that I have a very selfish, like thing to like thought to why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just thinking that if nobody is suffering anymore in this world, nobody's going to hurt me anymore.
Mm.
So I definitely believe that that people that are hurt can hurt others. That we so if everybody was happy, joyful, that if we were all like that. So yeah, I'm pushed. I'm pushed. I I I want to share something. I've been one of my last clients. She was 17 years old. She was medicated heavily. She was on 400. Like, if there is therapists, psychiatrists, doctors, like, please hear this. She was on 450 milligrams of Wellbutrin, plus this medication creates for young people suicidal ideation. So she was having suicidal ideation. She was starting to have anxiety. So she was also having pills for anxiety. She was having pill now for ADHD, like, for everything that. And so she was 17, like lots of 17 years old. She was going through transformation, and she was needing help. So she was a bit depressed, and she was helped giving medication to a person, and those medication, and specifically for young people, are creating suicidal ideation. So who didn't have suicidal ideation as a teenage? That probably not many people. We, one way or another, we all went this this feeling that what am I doing there? I don't want to there, like, I'm scared, I'm different, I'm just like, finding your place, that and giving pills to a child that is looking for himself, and just telling him that you are not able to heal, you're not able to do anything. Now I'm going
Mm.
to give you a pill because you can't heal yourself. You lost, and I'm going to give you a pill that is not going to help. It's not going to help long term. It's not going to help. Those medication are not going to help long term. People that are antidepressant for years and years and years, this is not helping, and still feeling bad. 10 years, 20, because I see them, I help them. So it's saying to a young person that you're not able to heal, you don't have the capacity, we're going to give you pills. I don't think it's right in our society. I think we should do something else. I'm glad that she's completely off her meds.
Nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
stoked for that.
yeah, that she she's got a purpose in life.
Yeah.
She has found something. She 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 is she find she, yeah, when, like, the second, we did two psilocybin session. The second one, she had a breakthrough, and she said that just for what I've experienced now, I want to live forever. She has found, I don't want to disclose what she's found, like a purpose that she found in her
Yeah.
life, but she has found a purpose. She's 17 years old, and she found a purpose. So that's several months that she's feeling much better, that she's completely off her pills, and that she knows that she's got the capacity to heal. That's what we need. Resilience is just
Yeah.
understanding that we have the capacity. She was having resources. She's got resources and capacity to heal. So, hmm,
Purposelessness, and the what a crime sometimes to see a world that is so willing to force people, maybe not force people, that's not the right word, It's so interesting to think about culture. And I think of the first four letters when I think of culture. And if we're not learning to think, right? If we're not doing the work and learning to think for ourselves, there's lots of people that are paid lots of money to do the thinking for you, and they don't have your best interest in mind. That's culture. Culture is the bombardment of billboards when you're driving down a highway. Culture is the lyrics to a song that talk about the way in which you were treated, which is horrible, and how you celebrate it. Like it's constantly around us and just inviting us to live a life that is without purpose. It's just distraction so much. And I I feel it. I'm so thankful to hear that story because it is a story of resilience. And if a young woman at the age of 17 who's going through a transformation, who's on 450 milligrams of, well, that not only that, but probably on Lord knows how much negative feedback she's getting from the people around her and these doctors that tell her she's not good enough. You need this pill. You're not normal. You got to take this thing to be normal, whatever the hell that word means. Like I feel like the story you told today was going to resonate with lots of people. I feel like the work you're doing is like, do you think we're waking up to this? Is this something that you see on the horizon? Is the sun rising?
Okay, you know my theory.
Let's
My
hear it.
theory is that, yeah, you were talking about universe. Let's go back to
Okay,
universe. We
let's
are
do it.
united. We are
Yeah,
one. We are a
yeah,
body. And I believe that there is people like me, lots and more people like me that are
yeah.
raving. We are white blood cells.
I love
The
it.
body is attacked
Yeah,
by like um, germs
parasite
or
or something.
anything, parasite germs,
Yeah,
or we are in a culture of medication.
yeah,
We're gonna take like the cult of the medication.
yeah,
That's the cult of medication. So you taking away your power to heal. You're not able to heal. You're sick, So and I believe that the homeostasis of the universe, because we are one, and this is a balance. So the more that people wants to give medication, to shove medication in your mouth, the more there is other people that are going to say that, hey, like helping to the body, to the universe, guys, you have the power.
yeah,
That you have the power, that it's not like, don't give your power to anyone else than yourself. Don't let anyone else guide you. In my work as a psilocybin therapist, there's like, that now that there's so many psilocybin therapists everywhere. So many. That's true that,
yeah.
that so many, many, many. How do you make the difference that, when people are saying that, oh, I'm going to guide you, I'm going to heal you,
Mm.
where are you going to guide me? Who you are to guide me? You don't know nothing about me, that, because I don't even know myself.
Yeah.
Who you are to guide me? Why you want to guide me? Where? How? You want to heal me? How can you heal me? Who you are? No. Some people need guide and healers, and that's okay. That's okay. But, because they unfortunately don't yet trust themselves enough. So
Mhm.
they're going to put their power of
Mm.
healing, their power of in the end of someone else. But at the end, I can promise you, nobody else than you is healing yourself. You are doing it. So
Mhm.
if you think that, oh, I got this healer, that's wonderful.
Mm.
So you are this wonderful healer. All the quality that you thinking that this
Mhm.
person has, you need a Buddha to recognize a Buddha. You got it. You got it inside yourself. You are this wonderful healer.
That's well said. That's well said. Deep. Benedict, I feel like we've done like over an hour and almost an hour and a half, and I feel like it was 5 minutes. I feel like we just blew through our conversation right here. So much fun. I'm
Thank
thankful.
you.
Like, yeah, this is great. At, before, like, you've been generous with your time, but before we land the plane, where can people find you? What do you have coming up, and what are you excited about?
Um, I would like to develop something because I've realized something more and more, and that's my client Saturday. That one more time. When I do a psilocybin session, I do a pre-session, and a pre-session that lasts about 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. And there is something at the end of this pre-session that's almost all the people are telling me. They're saying to me that, oh, that's incredible that in just like 2 hours, it's just that even if I was like stopping here, I would have gained so much.
Mm.
So it's not easy. I am in Jamaica because it's completely legal to do psilocybin here, but it's not easy for, and it's a big price that even if I try to do as cheap as possible for being like uh, having people being able to access like therapy. So I want to develop more and more working online. Obviously, not with
Right.
psilocybin because I don't. Obviously, I owe the safe space. Huh? I can't hold the safe space if I'm far away. But just like doing more and more pre-session therapy online, just like helping people to have this consciousness and awareness. I think that I've got this gift to, when I speak with people, like, to create like a puzzle of what people are telling me, for them to be conscious of. And I've got lots of tools, I've got lots of experience, and I would like to be working more online with people all over the world and to be able to, you know, in 2 hours, to already 2 hours, to just like give them lots of insight, teaching them personally. You can go, and a lot of people are going to see like a tarot reader.
Right.
It's going to be a bit like this, except that I'm not a tarot reader. I'm not a guide. I'm not, but I'm just having this capacity to listening and to help you be more conscious of who you are. Just like helping you to put, like, just having the right question, like, having the right things to help you be more conscious, and giving you certain tools and explaining you like certain things about your functioning and how you can help yourself. So I want to be more accessible to people there to do online those online session. To that's what I would like to do more. I don't know. I'm very bad in marketing. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. So people can find me um, online. Uh, yeah.
I
But,
think it's a big part of it. Like I can talk to you about starting a podcast. Like you should have your own podcast. Every time I talk to you, I have so much to think about afterwards. And I think that you could help. You're already helping a lot of people. And I hope that everyone within the sound of my voice goes down to the show notes and reaches out to you, because I do think that you have a lot to share and a lot to help people with. Maybe starting up like a podcast of your own and getting out there and talking to people would be a great way to begin that journey to helping people, because you're great at it. Like the way you use your language to describe things it's transformational for me, and I know a lot of other people listening, and it's wonderful.
I was
We should talk about
wanting
that.
to do it. I was wanting
Yeah,
to
you'd be
do it
great at it. You'd
to
be great at it.
and to and to for offering for one person that don't have the fund to seek for healing, you know having the opportunity that, I don't know, like once in a week, just like giving the
Yeah.
opportunity to someone that, just like, allowing people that don't have money to seek, and just that's okay for sharing, because even as a therapist, what we can share with other is our own experience, our own knowledge, that, I share with people tools. I share with people like compassion, and helping them to, that's how I can help them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to do this, but it's I don't know that, that there's, yeah, that's my frustration. Today my frustration is that, today, to work in this world, you need to be very good in social media, and that's not really, I'm trying, but I don't really like it.
Yeah.
And and unfortunately, if you have a beautiful package, a beautiful website, a beautiful
Yeah.
everything, you're gonna sell, and you're gonna have lots of client, and you're gonna have, doesn't believe that, doesn't is it not true that maybe what you got to get inside the package. So so yeah, I wish I could help more people. I wish that, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do, help. I want to help, but yeah, I would like to have the way, like, yeah, that that's what I'm lacking. I hope that, I wish, and I'm just always asking for something. I wish that I can one day partner with somebody that is as good in marketing, and all this thing that I am, and that want to help others, and that have the skills. I got skills, like I was saying. I know my skills, and I know what I can offer to others. But I I would like to be more out there, and I need someone to yeah to make me out there, to put me out there. And thank you doing it. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I hope that's what I hope that, like I said, that even if this have resonate to one person, we've helped one person, and that's great. This person will help other person. This is mycelium, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So this one person will help maybe his family, that, something that have resonate, like suddenly this person is just like, I have the power to heal myself. It's great. Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm,
It's that confidence. It's that
yeah.
realization. It's that awareness. And once you're aware of it, it's very hard to be unaware of it.
Yes, that's what one client said to me at the end of a psilocybin session. He said, I can't unseen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Consciousness is healing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Consciousness is freedom. Freedom is happiness.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Benedict, thank you. Hang on briefly afterwards, but to everybody within the sound of our voice, go down, check out the show notes, reach out to Benedict. If you're a social media manager, go down, click on the link below. If you are someone who may be able to volunteer some time, go down, hit the link below. If you're someone who maybe doesn't have a whole lot of money but would like to get to know Benedict a little bit, go down and check out the show notes. I have had multiple conversations with her, and they all end up like this, where I find myself so thankful to get to be here sitting next to you and talking to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Aloha.
Aloha. Enjoy your day, your week, and sending you lots of love.
Nice. All right.